Good evening, and welcome to Wagon's World. Breaking tonight, NFL superstar Justin Tucker is facing bombshell allegations of sexual misconduct from 6 massage therapists. According to multiple reports, Tucker allegedly engaged in inappropriate touching and explicit requests during private sessions, with the women claiming that they felt pressured and manipulated due to his celebrity status. Now, here's where this story gets interesting. Tucker has been one of the NFL's biggest names, a clean cut, well respected kicker with a nearly spotless reputation. But now, his image is in serious jeopardy. The question is, will the NFL take action, or will they slow walk this investigation because he's a major star? We've seen how quickly the league moves on certain players while dragging their feet on others. Will this be handled fairly, or will the Tucker get special treatment? And let's not ignore how the sports media reacts when these stories break. Some players get instantly vilified while others get a pass. If this were a more controversial player, would ESPN already be running nonstop coverage calling for a suspension? We'll see how this plays out. But one thing's for sure, this is the biggest scandal to hit the NFL in months. Meanwhile, catastrophic plane crash over Washington, D.C. has left over 60 dead after a passenger plane collided midair with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. This is supposed to be one of the most restricted airspaces in the world. So how did this even happen? It's a good question to ask. A new report from the FAA is confirming what many feared. Staffing at Reagan National Airport's air traffic control tower was not normal on the night of the crash. That's right. The very people responsible for keeping the skies safe were either understaffed or improperly managed when this disaster took place. Trump wasted no time eviscerating Biden's FAA, calling this crash a direct result of the administration hiring based on diversity quotas instead of actual skill. And here's the thing, he's right. The FAA has openly admitted that they've prioritized diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives over hiring the most qualified people. This is what happens when politics infects aviation safety. You get air traffic controllers put in positions because of optics, not ability. And then what happens? People die. And right on cue, the media is already doing damage control, trying to label this a tragic incident rather than asking the hard questions about whether Biden's woke policies put those passengers at risk. Let's be real. If Trump were still in office, the media would have been screaming about deregulation and Republican negligence. But when it happens under Biden, nothing to see here. In other news, House Republicans are making moves to buy back the Panama Canal. Why? Because right now, China has gained an alarming amount of control over this critical trade route. And Biden, as usual, when he was president, did nothing. This is a pure America First move, taking back a strategic asset that never should have been given away. And predictably, the left is losing their minds. They're calling it reckless, imperialistic. But let's be real. What's reckless is letting China control the supply chain that America depends on. Trump sees the bigger picture, and he knows that if we don't act now, China will tighten its grip even further. Let me ask you this. Should we let China keep building influence, or should we take back control of what never should have been lost in the first case? Over in the Senate, Kash Patel's confirmation hearing is exactly what we expected. A political knife fight. The left is absolutely terrified of Patel, and for good reason. He's been one of Trump's fiercest warriors against the deep state. And now they're doing everything they can to stop him. Why? Well, because if Patel gets confirmed, he's going after the people who've been abusing their power for decades. He knows where the bodies are buried, and the swamp is in full-on panic mode. The hearings have been a circus filled with Democratic senators throwing out every smear and roadblock they can think of to keep him from taking office. But here's the thing, they wouldn't be fighting this hard if he wasn't the right man for the job. So expect delays, dirty tricks, and the media rolling out every attack and hit piece imaginable in the coming days. And finally, Trump just signed a major executive order to crack down on antisemitism in colleges. This move forces universities to take action against the wave of pro-Hamas activism that is sweeping campuses as we speak. And predictably, the left again is absolutely melting down. Let's get one thing straight. If these protests were targeting any other group, universities would be expelling students left and right. But because it is left-wing activists harassing Jewish students, suddenly free speech is all we care about. Funny how that works. Tonight, this is Wagon's World, the show that doesn't kneel to the media, the establishment, or the woke mob. We will see you next time. No spin.